Hello, this is Dan Ferrisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald. So happy to be joined today by Randy Stearns, who is CEO of D-Tools. Topic of conversation is, of course, software and business resources, aligning with our CI plus SSI Business Resources Deep Dive, which will be in our November-December issue, as well as all over both commercialintegrator.com and securitysales.com in the month of December. When you think about a software tool that's really beneficial to integrators, you immediately think, of course, of D-Tools. So we wanted to invite Randy on, share some of his thought leadership. Thank you so much, Randy, for being here.
Hey, Dan, good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure to see you, and it was great to see you, of course, at Total Tech Summit as well. So let's get right into it. D-Tools has been a market-leading software provider to systems integrators for over 2 decades now. Really impressive run, quite honestly. So how has D-Tools been able to maintain market dominance during that time? In other words, what keeps D-Tools on top where it currently is?
Good question. Um, Interestingly, we're just coming off a 3-day strategic offsite. So we've had the freedom to think about high-level questions like that. I think for me, it comes down to probably three things. One is our mission, which is very market focused. We are like maniacally focused on helping our customers run better businesses. And I think that's really important. It keeps us focused on the right things for them. Secondly, is we have a strong and even burning desire to be the best. And the ways we do that is we stay really closely connected with our customer base. I've got dozens of employees that are literally on the phone with our customers all day, every day. And so we're really like well connected with them. We understand what's important to them, and we're very responsive to their needs. And so we're always building our software in a manner that fits how system integrators think and how they work, because we're hearing from them on a constant basis. And I think the third thing is just our people. We've got over 100 really talented folks that care very deeply about our products and our customers. And so I would narrow it down to those three things that if that kind of keep us on top. But yeah, it's kind of a hard question to answer because there's so much involved, right?
Yeah, there's so many interlocking components, but I really love the fact that you did highlight the people. Of course, you have a fantastic team, and every one of them is really, really passionate about both D-Tools and what you do, and of course, also just serving the integrator community broadly. So it's really a feather in your cap. As an end-to-end solution, D-Tools is designed to do it all,
Mhm.
really. So, as a CEO, former D-Tools customer, there are specific features that you personally feel have the greatest impact on improving productivity, operating efficiency, bottom line results, all that key stuff.
Yeah, that's a loaded question. Obviously, I feel we have a lot of features that are very impactful. Let's, for the purpose of this question, stay focused on system integrator or SI, since that's the product that the majority of CI readers use today. And I'll try to distill it down to the things that I I love and loved about the product when we were using it, when I was a system integrator. And it really comes down to the product and project information flowing seamlessly through the project cycle. Um, and so when I'm think about that, I think about both product workflow and task workflow. So starting with the product workflow, D-Tools has this massive product library, over 1.5 million products with a very deep set of fields for each one, right down to the engineering data of IOs and number of rack spaces and power requirements and all that. From that product information flows into our customers' product catalog that they manage, but we help them to manage with some very efficient tools. And that flows into their quoting process and directly into drawings to kind of auto-generate drawings, and right into the purchase orders and installation tasks, even service orders. Along the way, we're adding fields of data like serial numbers, IP addresses, MAC addresses. So even downstream asset tracking is made available through this original set of product data. So there's no need to ever re-enter product information, and there's a minimal ability to even make a mistake, because this data flows all the way through the process. Um, Similarly, we have a task workflow from planning through execution. So in the software, there's this ability to create project templates, which are a checklist of all the things an integrator needs to do in order to complete a project. And there could be a lot of different templates for a lot of different types of projects if they so choose. Those lists of items or tasks flow into a Gantt chart with, and then the customers can assign start dates, end dates, responsible parties, dependencies, etc. In the Gantt chart, and then that flows into notifications and work orders, so that again, these tasks flow all the way through without having to re-enter them ever. So it's tremendously time saving, and prevents users from being able to make mistakes. The last thing I'll point to, which is kind of part of our pedigree, is the way that the bill of materials is fully integrated with the drawings. And I'll give you one example of why that's so important. With change orders, for example, when say an engineer is in and makes a change to a drawing, either an addition or a deletion, that change shows up in a pending change order instantaneously. So it's almost impossible to ignore the change to the bill of materials when something is changed in the drawing, and the opposite is true as well. A change in a change order created through the bill of materials will have something removed from the drawing, or have an item sitting there in the project that has not yet been added to the drawing. So anyway, those are some of the things I like about the product, and our customers rave about. So sorry, that was a long answer, but hopefully that gets to the gist of it.
It's a very informative answer, and particularly, you mentioned like making it almost impossible to ignore. Just integrators are busy; they have 100 things on their plate. Just makes it a little bit easier for them. Makes it easier to wrap their hands around something. I think integrators are always going to appreciate that. You've been talking quite a bit about SI, and for very good reason. But D-Tools has also made a splash with D-Tools Cloud over the past several years, and I know both products are being marketed as end-to-end solutions. They're both very successful in the marketplace. So can you give me a little bit about the distinction between the two products, Randy? How the systems integrators coming to D-Tools might know which product is better for them between SI and cloud?
Yeah, that seems to be the $60,000 question. We get asked that question a lot. Um, Both products are designed as end-to-end solutions, as you mentioned, but they're really quite different or quite distinct, and they serve different needs. I would say based on the company's culture, their workflow, and their project requirements. So with um, SI is ideally designed for engineering-driven companies to quote manage complex projects. With these companies, I would say there's generally a need for detailed project documentation, submittals, workflows that are tailored to their unique processes, as well as custom reporting and custom dashboards. And so SI is this incredibly reliable workhorse for industry power players. So that's how I would, describe SI. Um, D-Tools Cloud, on the other hand, is designed more for engineering light and probably higher volume businesses that are more focused on throughput and throughput than completeness and accuracy, probably. It's a true SaaS platform, so it's going to include the natural flexibility, accessibility, scalability, interoperability that goes along with modern software solutions. And as such, it's a more intuitive and more prescriptive solution that enables users to get up and running and up to speed quickly. There's a very short learning curve associated with D-Tools Cloud. But I think most importantly, if customers are unsure of which solution is best for them, just contact us. Our inside sales team is very adept at asking the right questions to guide them down the right path towards a solution that best aligns with their needs.
Right. And the key, of course, is you're continuing to advance with both, continuing to develop both in parallel. Whatever your needs might be, D-Tools has a product that's going to meet them and suit them and enable your integration business to be more successful.
Yeah, and
It seems
if
like,
I can just touch on
sure.
that for 1 second, Dan, I want to affirm what you just said, that we are actively developing on both platforms. There's also been plenty of questions about whether DTools Cloud is, intended to replace SI. And at this point in time, they're both very active products that we are 100% focused, and we're 100% focused on both. We have not slowed down on the development of SI, nor do we plan to.
Thank you for adding that. I think it's important for you to emphasize that point. No business interview these days seems to be complete without asking about artificial intelligence, and far be it for me to break the trend. So I'm going to do it right now. How is D-Tools leveraging AI?
Yeah. I mean, AI represents just a tremendous opportunity to boost productivity and deliver insights that um, previously have been out of reach. Um, there's so much we're doing with AI. I'm going to keep it high level because I don't think we have enough time to get into the details. We'll save that for another time. Um, what I'll say is that we are very actively investing in AI in rather significant ways. Um, and the plan is to make AI foundational within our software. We're investing in infrastructure, in talent, in training, and in tools, while at the same time working with outside consultants and outsourced development teams that specialize in AI to bring these solutions to bear as quickly as possible. Uniquely, I would say our approach is to utilize AI in ways that think with our users as opposed to for them. Um, in other words, besides simply automating tasks, we aim to provide tools that facilitate their way of thinking and their methodology by enhancing decision making, optimizing workflows, and offering actionable recommendations. So I think our approach is a good and for the customers that we support. And honestly, our whole team is very energized by what AI has to offer, both internally and through our software. So we're super excited about the direction we're headed in, and I'll just ask you to stay tuned, and you'll know more soon.
You use the word energized. I always feel energized after leaving a conversation with you. Always very informative. Thank you so much, Randy Stearns, CEO of D-Tools, for joining me today. Really do
Yeah.
appreciate the time with you.
Hey, thanks, Dan. I enjoyed it.
My name is Dan Ferrisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald. Please do keep an eye on both commercialintegrator.com and securitysales.com when the Business Resources Deep Dive download launches. Thank you once again for tuning in, and have a great rest of the year.